this.
Oh my god. I mean, I think they destroyed it. They just totally destroyed it. Like, yo, what's up, my current feature Beatbox? Welcome back to another nice video with your boy Madox, aka I asked you on my community page which video I should analyze next, and you voted for middle school versus rock wave at the GBB 2021. Before I'm gonna analyze the video, let's check out some comments. Let's read some comments. I don't know if I'm just super high, but I noticed something in rock wave's second round in the part of 6:30 when they get past those initial bars in the song. They do the special stuff. I noticed that River did his text at the beginning and Colaps did his voice crack tech. I'm just gonna VCT. Wait, what did he see there? Then right after that, Colaps did his text and then River does his VCT. And to be honest, I find it quite impressive and really amazing thinking about how much time they put into that. Yo, this is a really confusing comment. I don't know. Let's keep going. 226. What song are they covering? Let me check that out. Maybe Shazam knows. When I say Shazam, I don't mean the beatboxer. I don't think so. Nope, nothing found. But I mean, yeah, of course, this app is not for beatbox covers. I have no clue what cover this is. Is it a cover? Let me know in the comments. Is this an original piece or a cover? When your mom says, okay, 5 more minutes, but your mother just forgot and just sleep like that. Me and 4 a.m. Man of culture. Oh, he made more jokes. When you thought your son didn't have talent, but he suddenly performed at GBB, maybe he means? The mom? Yeah, that will be a proper reaction for mom. Man of culture. I can't get over middle school second round. Honestly, the best second round I've ever seen for a tag team. I can't wait to see it too. Madox, it's time to analyze that. Okay, let's go. Let me analyze that. Let's get into the video.
The finals! Middle school versus Rogue Wave 2.
Beatbox. Smooth. So clean. All right, that was the first round of Rock Wave. Sick flow, sick feeling, nice singing. There was some part I felt like the harmonies were off, like off pitch. I think it was before the first drop. But the rest was pretty dope, yo. Yeah, it was like a sick composition. For me, concerning this is a battle that was like missing like a big unexpected part. But the composition is really nice. So before we keep talking, let's get into the details. Yeah, so Rockwave started with a really nice singing part at the beginning. The vibe is pretty dope. The bass line, it's not really a bass line, it's more like baritone range where Colaps is singing. It's a cool contrast, and the voice of River is pretty nice. I think the accentuation of the lyrics could be a bit better. I didn't understand any word of the lyrics, but he creates a cool vibe with it. That's pretty dope, and yeah, great suspense moment. Yeah, and then comes the first beat drop, and that's pretty straightforward, pretty easy beat, but really well executed, so that's why it's so vibey. The trumpet of River is really, really clean. Especially trumpets are really, sometimes there's too much air coming through your mouth, like when you do a trumpet and you hold it, like your mic technique is horrible. Your trumpet is just not that clean. There's like lots of air coming through. I'm also not like the best one with trumpets, but yeah, when you come close to a microphone, I'm not sure if you can hear it right now, but there's like lots of airness inside, so it's really hard to get rid of this. And River, for some reason, I don't know how he got rid of it, but his trumpet sounds really nice, really clean. The pitch is dope. I think he does a trumpet like more like Tum Thumb. Yeah, something like that. Sounds really dope. And the beat of Colaps, as always, really, really clean, really, really vibey. So really dope beats here. Nothing to criticize here, creating a really nice atmosphere. Yeah, but then for me, here comes the first problem in the transition. I think both doing trumpets. Colaps is trying to harmonize River's trumpet, and I think it's pretty off. This one, not sure what it's supposed to be like, but yeah, for me it sounds off. Doesn't really fit. The two melodies of them don't fit together, so it sounds off pitch. Also the techniques in between, I think it's supposed to be like what both are doing. It's not really in time, so that's why it sounds a bit sloppy. Yeah. The part afterwards, again, is really nice, the transition part, and they had like a little middle school this inside with the that's like a really unique way of middle school executing like synth sounds. Maybe you remember from last GBB, they had a routine where they used a lot of like the and we're combining it together and sounds really, really dope. And yeah, Rockwave here is like addressing middle school, like, yo, we can do that shit too. Then comes the second drop, and for me, the second drop, I like the evolution to it. I like the idea behind it. It's less melodic, it has more bass, it's a bit more technical, but something is missing here. Like the mids are not really coming through. There's something missing in the mids. Yeah, like the supposed to be like the lead synth here, and compared to the beat, it's not loud enough. So yeah, it's not really standing out, and therefore the beat feels a bit empty for me. Also I can't do this hollow sound that River does. I think it should be more in the front. So compared to the beat, it's not loud enough, and therefore the beat feels a bit empty. So they definitely need to work here on this part to have some leads that are in front. When I say leads, I mean like a lead bass, a trumpet, whatever it is, that fills up the mids. Especially River with the I can't do it, but you get the idea. It's a bit sloppy on this one, especially at the end. You barely can hear it anymore. Yeah, and then at the end, to round it up, they came back to the intro. Pretty nice ending. Can't really argue with this one. All right, so quick conclusion. Really nice composition. I really like the first drop. The second drop needs to be rearranged. Some sounds don't really work. There's something missing in the midst, but overall, good timing, really clean execution. There was some pitch problems at one point that I mentioned, but other than that, pretty clean. Let's get into the first round of middle school now.
Switch!
What is happening now?
Time is an illusion, focus on the rhythm. Oh yeah! Woo! Wait! Let's bring the garage back.
Seems she likes that.
Time is an illusion, focus on the Time is an illusion, focus on the rhythm.
Wow.
And that's time.
Time is an illusion. Focus on the rhythm. Yeah, so middle school was, I would say, a bit more technical than Rock Wave. Nearly no melodies inside. Bit heavier maybe. For me, at some parts, a bit too messy. Don't know if the mix is the problem or the execution of the beatboxing here. You know what? Let's get into the details. Yeah, so middle school started with like a poly rhythm at the beginning. I really like that, especially this. Oh no, how does he do it? It's not a spit snare. It's more like the snare of Kenny Urban. I have no clue. Maybe something like that. Let me listen to it again. Yeah. No. It's not. It's. Stop it, Madox. Let's keep going. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool sound. Then also they kind of slow it down and do sounds after each other, and then FootboxG is adding up like the sucker punch technique in between. That's a pretty cool effect, to be honest. It's kind of like you can't really tell anymore who's doing which sound. I would say like sometimes they're not super tight on the timing, especially when you do something like that, when you do polyrhythms. The effect is way more effective. It's way more impressive when it's like the timing is absolutely on point. Here I have the feeling that they struggle sometimes with the timing, but yeah, overall it works.
The delusion, focus on the rhythm. Oh yeah!
Yeah, then they're coming into the first drop. Supernova is using like his really popular lip bass. Like normally people do lip basses like but I think Supernova is not like doing one octave lower. So let's say with the voice you do this note, and then you do an octave lower with your lip oscillation. So you have one octave lower. I think what Supernova sometimes does is like he goes 2 octaves lower with his lip oscillation. So it's more like. and so it sounds like darker and fuller. I'm not 100% sure how he does it, but it sounds really dope. And yeah, it makes the beat sound really full.
Focus the rhythm.
Here on the video, it's pretty hard to hear the bass properly. Yeah, not sure if it's the recording or it could be just executed better. I think it's a mixing problem. Usually, as I know, Supernova would sound really full with his lip oscillation bass. You can hear the texture of the lip oscillation bass, but you can't really hear the pitch.
Time is an illusion. Focus the rhythm.
I mean, yeah, you can hear, but it could be louder.
Oh yeah.
But again, I'm not really sure if it's a mixing problem or it was poorly performed. So yeah, really hard to tell here. But we had a similar issue with Rock Wave, where in the second drop, some parts didn't really come through. They were not loud enough. There were some frequencies missing. So yeah, at this point, really hard to tell, especially in a video, especially as everyone knows at GBB, there were some sound problems. So hard to tell right here. But the idea behind it is really dope.
Oh yeah. Woo! Wait, let's bring the garage back.
Then afterwards I had this short intersection where they come back to holy rhythms again. That's a pretty dope effect. It just shows like how well they can interact with each other. It makes it really interesting to listen to them. You can just feel like from this moment how well they're synchronized, how well they work together, and it's just really beautiful to watch that. Yeah, then afterwards they come back to the first beat they did before with the lip oscillation bass, and then they do like a break where Supernova does like two different bass sounds. I'm not sure what he was trying to show with this, but for me it wasn't too efficient, this move. Maybe he's trying to battle Colaps here because he's a sound that Colaps does a lot, and also the like the inward snare with together with the tongue bass. So yeah, probably a diss against Colaps can be seen as a battle move, but for me, not the most efficient battle move because, yeah. Also, it sounds muddy in the video. I'm not sure how it was live. I don't remember correctly, but yeah, here it just sounds really muddy. But as I said again, it can be the sound. Yeah, then afterwards they come back to another poly rhythm. This one is really, really impressive. Like you can also see like by the reactions of Freddy Beats and Hershey, it's like, wow, it's like mind blowing. It's kind of like maths for musicians, what they do on stage.
Time is an illusion. Focus on the Time is an illusion. Focus on the rhythm.
Yeah, and then afterwards they go hard with like this poly rhythm, with adding more bass. It's kind of like an evolution to the part they did before. At the end they had six seconds left. I'm not sure why they didn't use it. I mean, like the last drop, it felt like it could be longer, so they could actually just do it like double as long, the last drop, and use like the 6 seconds that they had left. So not sure if this was a nice decision. Maybe they were planning it out exactly to how to do it. In a tag team, it's really, really often really hard to like stretch your round or shorten it down because you have to be aware of what your partner is doing. It was hard here probably to do, but not impossible. Yeah, so probably, I don't know if judges would give minus points for having so much time left at the end. Also, to be fair, 6 seconds is not too long. We had cases with 10 seconds. That's a pretty long time, but 6 seconds is not too much. So yeah, conclusion of the first round. We had Rock Wave with a really melodic first round. We had Middle School with a really technical first round. Personally, I really like the melodies that Rock Wave created the vibe of it, the sound really full. It was also like really crowd pleasing what they were doing. On the other hand, we had middle school with a really high complexity of what they were doing, especially like the poly rhythms. That's really hard to execute, and most of the times it was really clean performed. Sometimes I felt like the timing could be a bit tighter, but it wasn't a really big deal. And also, especially comparing to Rock Wave, I feel like the composition could be a little bit more exciting. It was more around filled with lots of battle moves, not really like a storyline with a melody or something. I really like the punchline though, time is an illusion, focus on the rhythm. That's a really cool one because it really fits to what they're doing actually. So yeah, pretty hard to make a decision here. I would say complexity-wise, middle school I see in the front. Arrangement-wise, I see Rock Wave in the front, although the second drop for me didn't work that well, but like the melodies were really dope, the singing was really dope, and it was really easy to listen to. So yeah, after the first round, probably wouldn't be able to make a decision. Probably I would see them pretty close to each other. So let's get into the second round of Rock Wave.
Switch!
Sometimes a bit too fast. Alright, that was the second round of Rock Wave. I'm not really sure. The melodies were really off for me, and this round was way messier than the first round. There were some crazy exciting parts. Skill-wise, it was really complex, also way more complex than the first round. But yeah, hard to follow it. Sometimes not clean enough for me. Hard to tell. Let's get into the details.
Switch!
Yeah, so they started with a really easy melody at the beginning. And Colaps with the singing. To be fair, Colaps is not the best singer. His voice could be more present. I feel like he didn't feel really confident while singing. So already here, yeah, it feels like in general there's a lack of confidence, especially after middle school we're like so confident with the first round. Yeah, here there's like, yeah, Colaps is lacking in confidence with his voice. Because the intro was so sloppy. I don't know if it was the pitch or like the vibe of it just didn't catch me, and therefore I think they had a harder time to actually deliver with the first drop. If you have an amazing intro, the drop always will hit harder, and here, yeah, not so much. Then they came into the first drop, and that was a pretty crazy one. Like the beat of Colaps with the something like that. Still can't do these techniques, but I'm getting close. Yeah, I'm also new to the spit snare of Colaps. If you didn't know, Colaps is doing his spit snare actually different than others. Instead of, he's doing like.
So I was putting my my fingers like this to avoid those kind of stuff.
He's like putting pressure on his neck, using his neck muscles, and it's more like a kissing position. And this makes it easier for him to like execute like these kissing hi-hats. Yeah, but still can't do it. It's pretty crazy when he does it. In between, they had like the I think the and what they were combining, and not sure if this was a reference to middle school. I think they could use it like with gestures or like, yeah, with like, I don't know, fronting them more on stage while doing it. So it's more clear that they are actually using it right now against them. Could be a battle move, not really sure. But yeah, the technicality of Colaps here is insane. Also the clicks in between, damn. He puts like an evolution to the beat. Like the first part was already crazy, and then yeah, he's adding the clicks, and it's like, oh my gosh, this guy, insane. Yeah, but then at the same time, for me, it doesn't feel like super flawless. It feels like it's really exhausting what they're doing. And therefore, sometimes they're kind of missing the delivery of this beat. Is just not really on point. Like, for example, in the first round, the delivery of the first drop was really much on point. You could feel like, damn, they're crushing it right now. Here, I feel like they're struggling. Sometimes, like, Colaps is also adding like his voice in between. Yeah. It sounds like he tried to do something like that, but it didn't really come through here. And maybe he was just too exhausted. And that's something you need to plan out, of course, beforehand. How much you want to go in. Can you physically do that without losing energy while doing it? It didn't plan it out good enough so he could execute it perfectly here. But considering this is like a really, really complex beat, I think just for the complexity and how close they are like here to perfection with it, like especially the beat is really, really on point, really, really clean. I think, yeah, it's hard to tell. Really, really complex, but also not 100% clean. So probably they would get like lots of points for complexity, but a little bit of minus points for cleanliness. Yeah, then afterwards they come into another part where the beat is like less complex. I think here they should use like more sounds that are more melodic. So the this kind of melody, I think it should be more in the front. Not sure how, maybe use like synths or trumpets that sound more fuller. So the beat just feels a bit fuller. So for me here, there's something missing. Yeah, also the transition part in between is a bit messy. Like the drums are really loud and I don't know. It's just like the idea for the transition is not really clear, I would say. But again, always keep in mind the mix. I don't actually know how the mixing was made with these two microphones. Are they just balanced out, or does everyone has his own mix on his microphone? This could be also something that maybe could be fixed in the mix, I would say. Also, as a tag team, you also need to be aware, especially on a battle, that you need to balance out certain sounds in order to be more or less present. So with your sounds, you don't occupy frequencies that could be important for your partner. For example, yeah, Colaps sometimes does really, really loud drum sounds, and then River's trumpet or River's melodic sounds are not really coming through. Yeah, like for example, the River does like a trombone sound in between, and Colaps does really loud hi-hats, something like that in between. And yeah, you can't, like the trumpet is not really coming through here. Yeah, but then the transition part with the spitzness is actually crazy. No clue how River does that. It's crazy. It sounds crazy. Yeah, but then the transition, sometimes I feel like this technique is a bit overused. River kind of uses it as an actual like melodic element. It feels like he's not hitting the pitch perfectly. And of course, if you do it that fast, it's really hard. Maybe just don't use it that often. I don't know. I'm not a big fan, to be honest, of this combo. If he uses slower, for example, in his wild card for GBB, he used this technique. It sounded amazing. It sounded really amazing. So he can make it sound amazing, but I feel like when he does it really fast, it sounds more like a weird voice crack. Then afterwards they come into a drop that had actually a really, really dope rhythm. But also here, on the execution, like River, I think he does a throat bass. Yeah, like River does a... I also can't do the sound. But I think combined to that, he does a throat bass, and the throat bass is not really coming through. Yeah, it doesn't really come through, it's not really clear, but I think at the same time, like, they're covering a lot of frequencies in the low end and in the high end, but then in the mids, like, the sounds are not really coming through well. It makes the beat less full. But skill-wise, it's an insane beat. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a crazy beat. I'm just trying to find like parts at the end to find like what the judges might have considered to be less skillful than middle school, because Rockwave at the end lost. So yeah, please always consider when I'm criticizing, this is like GBB final. I'm really picky right now to find like little mistakes that they could improve in order to be champions. But at the end, everything of what they do right now, it's insane, it's crazy. I couldn't even do something that is close to that. Yeah, but then this part, I'm not sure. It's like too much. They're trying to show too many crazy techniques here, and it's just a bit messy. Like the melodic sounds that River does here, for me, it's a bit too messy. It's not really on pitch. It's hard to get this on pitch, of course, but then maybe rather do something different. Yeah, also the I don't know, I don't really see like theme coming through here, like a melody that you could follow. It feels really random, like the melodic sounds I do here. Also the last note, it's like somewhere, I think they were really exhausted after like all these hard sounds and drops they did before. Not really well ended here. Like the first round, for me, they had a really nice ending and the melodies were really on point. Here, it was a bit too messy for me. So let's see what middle school did in the second round.
We don't have time, we win the shit like. Easy.
God. Okay. Holy cow. That was the second round of middle school. I mean, I think they destroyed it. They just totally destroyed it. Like, so in general, I would say, like, it was also really technical. They had a really sick drop, really sick crowd pleaser inside. And for me, like, the techniques that they used here felt more purposefully, didn't feel as random as the ones of Rockwave. Like, when Rockwave did the techniques, especially at the end, it felt more like we want to do it to show how complex we are. But thinking about the composition, it didn't really fulfilled a purpose. But here middle school, for me, it felt like, yeah, really purposefully. So yeah, let's get into the details for the last time. Yeah, so middle school started with a really easy melody at the beginning, but then right away in the second part of the build-up, the beat of FootboxG creates so much suspense, and the lip oscillation bass of Supernova is like simple, but it sounds so full, you know? So he doesn't need to do more right here. Like, FootboxG is taking care of the technical patterns and like creating the excitement, and Supernova creates the vibe with his lip oscillation bass, and it's just dope.
We don't have time, we win the shit like.
Yeah, and then afterwards they came into the first drop. I felt like it was a bit too rushed into it, like the lyrics felt like could be more on point, and therefore also the drop was a bit too rushed for me. So the first bars, I didn't really dig the first bars of the drop because it felt a bit too rushed, but in general the drop is crazy.
We don't have time, we win the shit like.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. Sounds so dark. It's such a dark, like, halftime drum and bass drop. Also the breaks in between feels like they kind of lost it, but then they coming back to it, like they know exactly what they do. Like, it's crazy, like even the breaks, I can tell doing such breaks in between where none of both is doing sounds, but then keep like the length of it like perfectly timed without having like a drum sound on the one or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's like the synchronization of both of them is crazy. And you also, by the reaction of the crowd, you can see they were really smashing it. Like the crowd was really digging this drop because it's so heavy.
Easy.
To be honest, I didn't like the diss with the easy. I didn't really understand what they were referring to because they're basically just doing their own techniques here. But it was kind of a nice effect, to be honest. Yeah, like I don't really understand what they were referring to, but it just like the attitude makes it really nice.
Easy.
And then afterwards, like after short like drum and bass build up, they came into the second halftime drum and bass drop, and the bass of Supernova here, my gosh, like I'm on a freeze frame right now here. Can you see Stitch bass? That's like the perfect expression of like how this bass sounds like. This lip oscillation bass, my gosh, so dope. Also the beat, like the laid back beat. So dope, man. The vibe of it's so groovy.
Check this out.
And then the second part of the drop, like, oh my gosh, like the polyrhythms in between. It's so dope, you know? But the thing is, like, it's really complex, but still it's easy to listen to. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh, we're flexing right now with only with techniques. It really has a purpose. It's like, it really supports the groove, what they're doing. Yeah, and it's like crazy, like how swingy like the polyrhythms are. Like when you're a solo beatboxer, you know like how hard it is to get like your swing so much on point, but just because of the timing, like it's not like a straight beat, but then it's like put a little bit swing on it, you know? It's like already hard as for a solo beatboxer, but then like they do it like as a tag team, like boom boom, boom, that's insane. Like how synchronized they are with the swing beats. That's definitely an insane skill. Not a lot of tag teams on this planet have. Yeah, so crazy. So that was the second round of middle school. So for the first round, I saw Rock Wave in the front when it comes to composition, also with the arrangement, with the melodies inside. But on the other hand, we had middle school with really complex beats in the first round. In the second round, Rock Wave used a bit more complex beats, but for me, it was a bit messy, like the composition and stuff. The intro was a bit sloppy. The singing didn't really catch me. But then we had middle school from beginning till end, really, really, really tight. And just by the crowd response, you can see like all the drops were hitting really, really hard. So first round, as I said, pretty close, if not even a draw. But after the second round, I definitely can say middle school really deserved to win this one. Okay, let's check out the winner ceremony. Scott Jackson with the suit. Oh, nice hair also.
Ladies and gentlemen, your tag team champions, Grand Beatbox Battle 2021 World League Edition.
Oh.
Give it up for middle school!
Oh my gosh, the emotions. Look at Supernova. So beautiful. Where is Footbox? Yeah, really deserved it. Final was insane, really insane final. Like both teams on a crazy level, but middle school for me at the end was just tighter. Yeah, FootboxG, there he is. World champion in tag team. Look at this face. So proud. Oh my gosh, he's crying. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. That's so dope.
Once again.
Yeah, so guys, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If yes, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, leave a comment. And if you want to see more videos like that, I was also analyzing Oni-chan versus Rofu. And you can click the video right now, right here.
Click it!